we're seeing here is a teacher's dashboard on our platform, and we integrate with Clever, and so it's a single sign-on process for students. The roster integration goes, from the school's SIS or LMS into Thinking Nation's platform. So I'm going to just go to a sample class here and walk you through the resources. So if I click this button here that says resources, that resource bank opens up, and you can see all the different courses that Thinking Nation offers. So at the high school level, we have econ, government, ethnic studies, high school U.S. history, modern world history, and then at the middle school level, we have U.S. history, medieval to early modern history, and ancient world history. And so let's look at one unit as like a case study for uh, looking at the resources. So you can see within this unit, which is on the Sedition Act. So this is early American Republic. The Sedition Act was signed in 1798, so we're right at the turn of the 19th century. You can see there's a unit overview, and then there's those categories that we talked about. Thinks, which is the document analysis, FAs, which are formative assessments, and then the Socratic seminar and curated research paper. So this, all teachers can go straight to the unit overview. And this is just a helpful PDF that shows the unit essential question, the associated resources, and just a kind of a brief overview. And then if we go to, so here's the C3 framework standards, which are put out by the National Council for Social Studies. And then you can click on the page 4 to see TEKS, the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, as well as other national and state standards all listed here. And so this just provides an overview for teachers. But then I want to focus in on this structure, these tiers. So as we said on the previous slide, once a week, students should be engaging in analysis. And so what we've done is we've created a systematizable protocol for document analysis that we use the acronym THINKS for. And so here we have, in this case, it's a secondary source, and Thinking Nation's resources are probably about 75% primary sources and then about 25% secondary sources. So you can see this is a pretty short excerpt. One thing that we really want to emphasize is quality over quantity, and I think most of us know that to be true. And then when it comes to whittling down sources, we prioritize quantity and things get lost. But we want to provide structured ways to analyze with quality. So here's a source. And then this is our THINKS protocol. And so just a quick kind of run through that. We have T for target audience, H for historical context, I for intended purpose, N for new vocabulary, key or K for key perspective, and then S for significance or historical significance. Now, when we created this protocol, we recognized that there are a ton of analysis protocols out there. However, what we found is that they were often adapted from ELA for social studies, or they were explicitly attached to the College Board's AP frameworks. And one thing that we wanted to recognize is that social studies is made up of unique disciplines that deserve to be rooted in a student's experience, especially if the title of the course is one of those disciplines. And so what we've done is we've just tried to scaffold the basic questions that historians are trained to ask intuitively into meaningful ways for students. So for target audience, who is this written for? Whose perspective is missing? For context, when was this created? And what other context do we know about this era? For purpose, students are thinking about author's purpose, but they also have to cite evidence, right? They have to evaluate evidence. What elements of the text convey that purpose? Key perspective gets at the skill of historical empathy and trying to look at the author creator's attributes and how their circumstances might impact their perspective. And then we're really strong on historical significance. In a world where individualism reigns supreme, students often look at the past through the lens of their selves, and that in a way perpetuates a sense of narcissism, that the past only matters if it matters to me. But significance actually asks students to ask questions of why might this have mattered period, right, for someone else in some other place or time. And so it gets us outside of ourselves into the role of scholar. Coupled with thinks, we also have protocols for individual thinking skills. So here you have one for continuity and change over time, which is one of our core thinking skills, but we also have them for comparison or causation. And I'll quickly go to one more example here for comparison, just to model that. So you can still see here we have two primary sources, thinks, the questions are slightly changed because there's multiple sources, and then this comparison graphic organizer. Now, everything is available to assign directly on the platform, but if the teacher wants to do something more or traditional on paper, everything is also downloadable directly as a PDF to be printed. And so we can see that here. And so there are hundreds of pre-aligned primary and secondary sources with these protocols that can really just ensure a seamless integration into the units of study that the teacher is already engaged in. So this is 20%, right? Once a week in our class, we're really pushing students to be the historian rather than be a passive receiver of a historical narrative. The second part